Welcome, everyone. I'm Jordan Sharp. The Super Bowl is finally set between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks, and as we have a lot of line movement going on here this week, I'm here to give you a little bit of a preview as to my parlay for this game. Both a pick on the total and the spread here to add a little bit of value to close out your Super Bowl betting season, and I really think that these two picks have a lot of value. So we'll start it off with my spread play on the game, which I think has to go towards the Broncos at -2. I really like the value being presented here by Denver, despite the fact there's been a lot of betting on them here over the week so far since the line opened this past Sunday. Still think there's value, even though the Broncos went from being underdogs to being a couple point favorites in the last couple of days. The Broncos against that Seattle defense do pose a threat, I think, to Seattle, despite the fact that they have one of the better secondaries in the league. I think that Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning and will be able to throw on them no matter what. He has too many weapons for the Seahawks to cover in this game, even though I think Seattle will do a good job of taking out Julius Thomas, possibly even Demaryius Thomas. Wes Welker and Eric Decker really have no one to cover them in this game. If Sherman is on Thomas and one of the safeties or linebackers is playing Thomas, which they've been very good at this season. But either way, I think with the Broncos' balanced attack that they've been using so far, I think they'll at least be able to they'll try and run the ball on Seattle, which will in fact set up some good play action to those aforementioned receivers. So I think for the first play here, Denver is going to win the Super Bowl. I think Peyton Manning going to get his second ring out of 3 tries, and we're going to parlay that with a pick on the total here, which is sitting at 47.5 points or 48, depending on which sports book you're taking a look at. And I think because the Broncos are going to win this game, I like the over as well at 48 points. I think because the Seattle Seahawks defense has been so good this season, this total is discounted just a little bit down to 48, 47 points, depending on which book you're looking at. And I think the Broncos defense is really going to be key in this game. Even though they're likely going to give up some points, I think they're going to be able to get some good turnovers as well. Russell Wilson's been sacked 19 times in his last 5 games. Really not going to hold up against a defense that's starting to play a lot better and going to be able to generate some pressure on that young offensive line. I really like the Broncos' upside on defense here, and obviously on the offense for both teams. Probably going to be able to score some points here. I think both teams have been playing very well against the run recently, so passing the ball is likely going to be the preferred method of play here. And at over 48, I think the value is absolutely there. So parlay that with the Broncos -2 here for your Super Bowl parlay. Best of luck to you. We'll see you back here next week for some more prop betting series here for the Super Bowl. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of The Sharp Pick.